Hey guys, so today in our little diamond talk, I'm going to talk about taxes. And I just want to start this call off like I've started every other tax call that I've ever done, or whenever I give you advice on taxes, is that every situation is different. And every state is different. So you really, really need to have a good CPA. You need to hire a good CPA. That's going to be my number one advice to you as you continue to build your business. This is a business, so you should treat it like one. You should have professionals hired to help you with things like taxes, okay? You want to make sure that you're getting the most out of your money, that you're making. Otherwise, Uncle Sam will take it. So make sure you have a good CPA. Go research a CPA, find one, and hire them to help you with your taxes. But I'm just going to talk to you about some quick tips that I have when it comes to taxes and to make it really simple for you. So this past year in 2014, we started using QuickBooks. And QuickBooks was awesome because I can import all of my data just directly from my checking account and credit card account, and it just uploads all of my transactions. It uploads income, it uploads all of my expenses. So it's really easy. So you can go in there and you can check it, and you can categorize everything that comes in. That's what's cool about QuickBooks, is that you can set up different categories, or there's a lot of categories that are already set up. So, and we'll talk about this next week about like setting up your business finances. So I'm not going to go too deep into a lot of this stuff yet, but I want you to know that because you can import your transactions, you don't necessarily have to use like an Excel spreadsheet. Like QuickBooks has it all for you. And the really great thing about QuickBooks is that your accountant can have direct access to QuickBooks and can get all of the information that they need right there at their fingertips, as long as you're keeping that stuff updated. We do it once a week. And I'm going to tell you, it's not easy to stay up on it, but it's really important, and you really need to stay up on your expenses. So with QuickBooks, you don't have to save your receipts. You really can just see the expense. There's a place for a memo if you need to make a quick note so that you remember what it was for, and then you categorize it. And the categories that we use are like shipping, promotional products that would include like Beachbody, like Shakeology, programs, different things like that. Team promotional is like anytime you're doing like a promotional thing for your team, or gifts for your team. Travel, meals and entertainment is a category, and meals are only deductible of 50% of the total cost. Job materials, so like job materials such as I count like shoes and workout clothes as job materials. If I were to maybe buy, like a notebook or supplies, like that's all job materials to me. Tools, we use a lot of tools, like QuickBooks is a tool, Microsoft is a tool, my cell phone bill is a tool, like my cell phone that's a tool. What else do we count as tools? Oh, like Buffer I pay for. The CRM, like my customer management system that I use, is a tool. And then lastly, subcontractors, which are people that you're paying directly to help you, like assistants. Okay, so our business is set up. Oh, before I move on, the categories, it's really based on, that's really for your tracking purposes. Your accountant doesn't really, at least mine doesn't. Mine doesn't really necessarily care about what category things fall into, and except if they're a meal, because that's only 50% off. She just cares about what's your income, what's your expenses. Okay. And I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of how our business is set up, so that if your tax professional, your CPA is thinking, I'm not really sure about network marketing, how do we set this up? Here's just how we've set it up. And like I said, every situation is very different. Adam and I are not married, so it's just very different. We are an LLC partnership, so a limited liability partnership. And we had to set that all up. We had to get incorporated for that. We have a tax ID number. So all of the income is filtered through the tax ID. We had to set it up with Beachbody. We had to send them all the documentation so that they file our 1099. When we get the 1099 tax form this year, it's going to all be under the business tax ID, not our personal social security numbers. So how that works is even though we're considered an LLC partnership, we were set up for tax purposes as an S corp. So we had to apply for that. Like our CPA had to apply for that for us. So she did that for us. And what that means is you're not necessarily a corporation or an S corp. I'm not real sure what S corp stands for. I should know that, but I don't. But we just file taxes as an S corp. And I think that's maybe just small corporation. But anyways, what that does for us is that what happens is we pay income, or I'm sorry, we're on payroll. So we're set up, Adam and I are both partners in the business, and we each get a paycheck every week from the business. Okay, so we get a paycheck every week, and then we pay taxes on that. So we pay taxes to the government once a month because it's set up that way that we're on payroll and as an S corp. What happens is every month after payroll is paid, so all of our payroll, our weekly payroll is paid, expenses are paid, and taxes are paid. After all of that is paid out of the business account, if there's left over, if there's extra, that can be taken as a shareholder distribution. And Adam and I are both the shareholders of the LLC. So if there's $5,000 left over, we can take a distribution, which is kind of like a bonus. The cool thing about that distribution is it's only taxed once. So when I say that, when you get like a check from an employer, you pay taxes on the money you make and the employer pays taxes. So two entities are sending money to the government on that particular money. Okay, so when Adam and I receive money from Beachbody in our business account, and then we pay, as the employer, we do payroll to each partner, which is Adam and I, we pay double taxes on that because that's just how it works when you're self-employed to the federal government. But when you take a shareholder distribution, you're only paying taxes on it on the personal level. The business isn't paying taxes on that. That's my understanding of that. And like I said, I am not a CPA. I don't know a lot about this. I'm just sharing with what I know and how we have it set up. It took a long time to set this up, and you have to be patient, but you have to go through it. Like, you need to get your taxes set up and you need to be organized with them. My biggest piece of advice is get something like QuickBooks that's going to import all of your transactions so you don't have to save receipts, you don't have to type them in. I mean, that's a major pain in the butt. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do it to yourself, okay? Get a system that helps you stay organized, and it helps you save money, and it helps you give your accountant all the information in a very nice, neat little package. I know the first time I came to my accountant with tons of receipts, she said, don't ever bring me receipts ever again. I don't ever want to see a receipt. And she charged me $150 an hour to go through my receipts. Like, hello, that's not okay, right? We don't want to pay someone thousands of dollars to do that for us. If you can just make it a habit to go through your taxes, to go through your expenses once a week, you can categorize them and they're filed away, and your accountant can have direct access to your QuickBooks and know exactly what's going on in your business. So if you guys have any questions, just comment below in this thread, and I'd be more than happy to answer any questions as far as I know. So I will wrap this up, and I'm going to try and do a video every Friday so that we can kind of cover some topics for the Diamond page. So if there's anything that you guys ever want to hear about, just let me know. See you soon. Happy weekend.